Xiao Haoran traveled through the world of martial arts and became the 10th prince of Emperor Mingde of Beili. At the age of 18, he achieved a breakthrough in cultivation and reached the realm of mystical wandering. At first, he thought his talent was amazing, but later he realized that the system had given him 10 times his talent. He awakened the system of multiple suns and blessings, and embarked on the path of absorbing the harem and slaying demons and demons. You marry Li Hanyi and give birth to a pair of dragon and phoenix twins. You gain 10 Dragon Yuan and 10 Phoenix True Blood each, and you gain Li Hanyi's constitution bonus. You marry Yueji, you give birth to a girl with Yueji, and you receive 10,000 Death Warriors. The more children he has, the more rewards Xiao Haoran will receive. Huang Rong. Husband, I will be your cook from now on. Husband, I will never forget your heroic demeanor. If your husband dislikes you, I am willing to arrest my master, my junior sister, and my arch-rivals and give them all to you as your wife. Nangong Pushe said, your great kindness and virtue, I can only promise you with my own body. Wang Yuyan said, as long as you don't plagiarize the entire Wang family, I am willing to marry you. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Break through the mysterious realm of divine wandering. Multi-child multi-blessing system. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Shenwu World. Beili Dynasty. Tianqi City. The imperial palace is grand and solemn, with its walls towering into the clouds. Outside the palace wall, fully armed soldiers patrolled the city tower closely. Within the palace walls, teams of imperial guards, dressed in heavy armor and wielding sharp weapons, patrol every corner of the palace to ensure safety. At this moment, in a secluded room deep in the palace, there was a young man who was devoting himself to cultivation without any distractions. He is the 10th son of Emperor Mingde. Xiao Haoran. In fact, Xiao Haoran is not a native of this world, he is a traveler. This secret room is filled with various rare spiritual stones. They emit a faint light, constantly releasing the spiritual energy between heaven and earth. These spirit stones were purchased by Emperor Mingde for Xiao Haoran at a high cost, hoping to help him further his cultivation journey. Now, these spirit stones have been fully activated, releasing a rich and extremely spiritual energy. The spiritual energy in the entire secret room is as strong as liquid. Xiao Haoran sat upright in the center of the secret room, his eyes tightly closed and his mind highly focused. In no time, Xiao Haoran guided the spiritual energy in the secret room into his body, helping him achieve the final breakthrough. Quickly, all the spiritual energy in the secret room condensed into a violent force. It ravaged his meridians like a raging flood, causing him to feel intense pain. However, he gritted his teeth and relentlessly manipulated the true element within his body, taming this violent force. With the passage of time, Xiao Haoran's efforts gradually achieved results. The violent force, although still incredibly powerful, began to slowly circulate under his guidance, nourishing every part of his body. Whenever the power flows for a week, he can clearly feel that his cultivation is rapidly improving. He is refining and absorbing, making this power a part of himself. As time passed, his meridians became more resilient and broad, and his true essence became more pure and solid. In the end, after experiencing a long and arduous cultivation, Xiao Haoran successfully broke through the mysterious realm of divine wandering. He slowly opened his eyes, with a dazzling light shining in them. Feeling the surging power within his body, his heart was filled with immense joy. What a terrifying aura! This is the mystical realm of divine wandering. It should be the 10th prince who succeeded. In the palace, Emperor Mingde sensed an extremely terrifying divine power suddenly appearing, and he quickly became ecstatic. He concluded that the divine power should have been issued by the 10th prince. This means that the current 10th prince has already broken through to the realm of mystical wandering. He knew that his 10th prince would not disappoint him. Since childhood, the 10th prince has been a genius. Even more intelligent than Xiao Sei back then. At the age of 13, Xiao Sei entered the realm of freedom, and at 17, he entered the realm of carefree heaven. And now, at the age of 18, Xiao Haoran has already entered the mysterious realm of divine wandering. At this moment, Xiao Haoran ended his seclusion. Woohoo! That's really great. In the future, I won't be afraid of losing my little life to the Northernly dynasty anymore. It's too chaotic here for the royal family in Beili. As a traveler, Xiao Haoran naturally knew how dirty the Northernly royal family was. Suddenly, at this moment, a cold mechanical sound came to his mind. 10, 9, 8, 7. 1 ding. The system is loaded. Ding. The system functions are officially launched. It's the system. My golden finger has finally arrived. The system. I'm already in the mystical realm now. Are you here? Xiao Haoran felt a burst of ridicule in his heart. In his opinion, even without a system, he could still thrive in this world of comprehensive martial arts in the future. He is now an 18-year-old mysterious realm expert. However, the arrival of the system still gave him a glimmer of anticipation and excitement. Returning to the host, the system will activate a talent ability for the host before it is completely successfully launched. The talent ability activated by this system for the host is 10 times the intelligence. Only then can the host's intelligence become so powerful. Xiao Haoran immediately took a deep breath of cold air. He finally realized that it was not his innate talent, but the system secretly bestowed upon him a 10-fold intelligence talent ability. He's completely confused. However, soon he was overjoyed. Before the system was officially launched, it gave him a 10-fold insight. And now, the system has officially started. May I ask what system you are? The official name of this system is Many Children, Many Blessings, Strongest Family. In the near future, this world will face a huge number of extraterrestrial demons invading, who intend to destroy our world. Therefore, the core goal of this system is to encourage the host to reproduce numerous offspring, work together with their descendants to resist and eliminate extraterrestrial demons, and defend the peace and tranquility of this world. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Obtaining a Congenital Dao Fetus. You are listening at novelfull.audio. However, even if the host has the ability to defeat the invading demons outside of this world, it is completely impossible to completely eradicate these demons. The demons outside the world are bred by various human desires, and as long as humans have desires that do not disappear, they will live forever. For those missions that the host cannot end, their descendants must step forward, inherit and successfully complete. Xiao Haoran took a deep breath of air conditioning. Good guy. He didn't expect this system to be so deceitful, not only requiring him to work hard to eliminate extraterrestrial demons, but also involving his descendants. Multi-child multi-blessing system. His eyes immediately flashed with a bright light. This system is very friendly to his host. With years of immersion in online literature and profound accumulation, he instantly understood the true meaning of the multi-child and multi-blessing system. This family will shoulder the responsibility of safeguarding the peace of the world and pass down the noble aspiration of slaying demons and eliminating demons from generation to generation. This is truly a magnificent achievement. Xiao Haoran touched his nose and recognized it. Soon, he saw his personal panel. Family. Xiao family, level. Level 1, bonus. None upgrade condition. 10,000 merits clan chief. Xiao Haoran, realm. Divine journey to the mysterious realm, talent. Overcoming intelligence, mall. Click to view. He quickly realized that he could only earn merit by eliminating external demons, thereby elevating his family level and unlocking powerful family bonuses. Some bonuses can make the entire family prosperous, some bonuses can make the family population prosperous, and some bonuses can keep the family members away from all diseases. At this moment, the system has bestowed upon him the astonishing talent of supernatural intelligence, which undoubtedly exceeds 10 times his intelligence. Xiao Haoran worked hard to calm himself down. After a while, he began to ponder who would become his first wife in life. He knew well that according to the laws of the system, only those women with extraordinary qualities could enter his eyes. In this world of comprehensive martial arts, women such as Sikong Qianluo, Yi Ruoi, Li Hanyi, Tiannu Rui, and Yueji are all among the dragons and phoenixes. My current identity is the 10th Prince of Beili. If I marry Li Hanyi with this identity, wouldn't it be too much? He began to secretly calculate in his heart. In fact, he had already formed an inexplicable bond with Li Hanyi before his cultivation had even set foot in the mysterious realm of divine wandering. They befriended each other through martial arts, and in multiple duels. Although Li Hanyi had exceptional talent, he was repeatedly defeated by Xiao Haoran, who possessed 10 times the intelligence. However, time flies and Li Hanyi is now 28 years old. She and Zhao Yuzhen got to know each other early on. It's difficult for Xiao Haoran to judge whether their emotions are deep or not. He immediately sorted out all the martial arts knowledge he had learned. Not long after, a system prompt sound appeared in his mind. Ding! You have mastered all martial arts knowledge, have an incredible understanding, and have gained insight into all the mysteries of the innate Tao fetus. You have obtained the innate Tao fetus. In an instant, it seemed as if all the spiritual energy in the world was being pulled by an invisible force, surging towards Xiao Haoran like a tide. Xiao Haoran felt a gentle spiritual energy seeping into his body, bringing him an unprecedented sense of comfort. As time passed, a massive spiritual vortex suddenly appeared over Tianqi City, like a mysterious funnel between heaven and earth. This vision immediately caught the attention of all the warriors in the city, who looked at the sky in terror, and their voices of discussion kept rising one after another. What kind of anomaly is this? Is there any treasure that has emerged, or is it the heaven-earth change caused by the strong one's cultivation here? Emperor Mingde also felt the powerful fluctuation of spiritual energy. He widened his eyes, filled with doubts and shock in his heart. He secretly speculated that this might be related to his 10th prince. Is it the 10th prince who caused all this? However, when he felt the increasingly powerful aura emanating from Xiao Haoran, he knew that his guess should be correct. This breath is like the vast and boundless sea, unfathomable and awe-inspiring. Not long after, the massive vortex of spiritual energy seemed to be summoned by some mysterious force, all of which flooded into Xiao Haoran's body. With the continuous integration of spiritual energy, his aura became increasingly powerful, like a awakened peerless powerhouse. At the same time, his body was undergoing earth-shattering changes. The skin gradually becomes crystal clear, like a flawless divine jade blooming with a brilliant light. Immediately afterwards, a dazzling beam of light descended from the sky, completely enveloping his figure. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Father, I want to marry Li Hanyi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. These magical scenes left Emperor Mingde and others stunned, as they had never seen such a shocking scene before. Especially Emperor Mingde, although he had witnessed the charm of the powerful wanderers in the mysterious realm with his own eyes, the scene before him made him feel an unprecedented shock and awe. Ding! You observe the gifts of the heavenly way and have a rebellious understanding. You gain insight into some of the mysteries of the gifts of the heavenly way, and successfully comprehend and master the incomplete Holy Light Protection Technique. Holy Light Guardian Technique, disabled. A magical technique that allows injured creatures to quickly recover their injured areas and reshape their physical bodies within just 10 breaths. If the creature has not been injured, this technique can build a strong defense for it, resist external damage, and protect the creature from harm. At this moment, many warriors in Tianqi City looked up and saw a huge vortex of spiritual energy gathering above the imperial palace. The spectacular scene was breathtaking. The hearts of everyone were inexplicably shaken, with whispers echoing one after another. Inside the palace, there are powerful beings wandering in the mysterious realm. Such a vision is truly rare to encounter for 1,000 years. Ding! You observe the gifts of the heavenly way and have a rebellious understanding. You have gained insight into some of the mysteries of the heavenly way's gifts, and you have mastered the incomplete time and space fairy arts. Space and time magic, residual. A type of magic that can reverse time and change space. Using this technique can reverse time and accelerate the passage of time, more able to freely change spatial orientation and shape new forms. Ding! You observe the gifts of the heavenly way, have a rebellious understanding, and understand the mystery of a gift from the heavenly way. You have mastered the incomplete regeneration magic. Regenerative fairy, remnant. A magical technique that can revive the deceased and restore the light of life. By using the regenerative magic, the recipient will be able to have their limbs severed and be reborn, their illnesses will disappear, and their lifespan will extend. 1 hour later, the brilliant heavenly light that enveloped Xiao Haoran finally dissipated. Through the profound baptism and transformation bestowed by the heavenly way, his body has transformed into the supreme innate Tao fetal constitution. Half an hour later, all the celestial phenomena finally returned to peace. Emperor Mingde was eager to be the first to rush towards Xiao Haoran's residence. After a friendly greeting, he was shocked to learn that the young prince's cultivation had truly broken through to the realm of mystical wandering. The previously shocking light was actually a gift from the heavenly way to Xiao Haoran for his leap in cultivation. Although Xiao Haoran did not reveal all the details, Emperor Mingde firmly believed in his words. When Xiao Haoran released all his cultivation, Emperor Mingde was shocked to find that his cultivation not only broke through the divine mysterious realm, but also reached an astonishing 5 levels of divine mysterious realm. How could this be? Emperor Mingde was stunned and incredulous. He knew very well that even a genius with extraordinary talents would find it difficult to step into the mysterious realm of divine wandering. And Xiao Haoran not only easily crossed this threshold, but also directly climbed to the height of the 5-fold, which simply overturned all his cognition. However, in the face of Xiao Haoran's casually mentioned heavenly gifts, Emperor Mingde chose to have unreserved trust. Quickly, the news spread like the wind throughout the entire country of Beili. Xiao Haoran, the 10th son of Emperor Mingde, at the age of only 18, broke through the mysterious realm of divine wandering in the palace and triggered an unprecedented gift from heaven. At the same time, Xiao Haoran was not satisfied with obtaining a congenital Tao fetus. He is well aware of his innate intelligence and is determined to elevate all the knowledge he has learned in the past to a whole new level. He tirelessly cultivates and constantly explores his endless potential. Ding! You devoted yourself wholeheartedly to practicing all the proficient swordsmanship, with an incredible understanding, and finally comprehending the essence of the true meaning of swordsmanship. Kendo Ginshin Impact, 10%. The profound Kendo Ginshin Impact, divided into 10 levels. With each understanding of the true meaning of swordsmanship, the power of swordsmanship doubles and increases unstoppably. In the following 10 days, Xiao Haoran remained closed and focused on elevating all his martial arts to a new level. His cultivation was like breaking through bamboo, breaking through the 8 levels of the divine and mysterious realm in one fell swoop, shocking the whole world. When Emperor Mingde learned this news, his heart was even more shocked. He thought that his cultivation would be difficult after wandering in the mysterious realm, but Xiao Haoran's rapid progress completely overturned his cognition. When Emperor Mingde met Xiao Haoran again, the young prince made an unexpected request. "Father, I want to get married. I have a family and hope father can succeed. Xiao Haoran's voice was firm and his gaze was burning. Emperor Mingde hesitated for a moment, then showed a pleased smile and said, "Oh. Which family's daughter did you fall in love with?" Xiao Haoran took a deep breath and slowly said, "Father, I have a special fondness for Li Hanyi from Shuyue City." As soon as he said this, Emperor Mingde took a deep breath and a complex emotion surged in his heart. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Li Hanyi, come out and fight. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. The name of Li Hanyi in Shuyue City is naturally familiar to him. Why do you have feelings for her? Emperor Mingde couldn't help but ask, but his heart was full of twists and turns. He is aware of his past actions and also understands that Li Hanyi may be aware of those hidden past events. This sudden request for marriage made him feel an inexplicable headache. However, Xiao Haoran remained unwavering. "Father, my son and I have once practiced swordsmanship with her, and her charm is unforgettable to my son and I. If I really want to choose a wife, it is none other than her. I earnestly request that Father grant me a marriage, and my son and I are willing to personally go to Snow Moon City and marry the beautiful woman according to the imperial decree. If Li Hanyi is unwilling to yield, I'm afraid my courtiers can only invite her to Tianqi City by force." Xiao Haoran's voice revealed a hint of helplessness and firmness. Upon hearing these words, Emperor Mingde couldn't help but feel 1,000 emotions in his heart. Such determination and courage are truly the essence of his son. After pondering for a moment, he finally agreed to this marriage and decided to fulfill his wish. Whether Li Hanyi agrees or not is not up to her to decide. Immediately, he quickly drafted a decree and handed it to Xiao Haoran, asking him to carry it to Snow Moon City to search for Li Hanyi. Xiao Haoran took the imperial decree and immediately disappeared without a trace, leaving only Emperor Mingde sighing softly in place, worried about Li Hanyi's reaction. He knew that Xiao Haoran had a martial arts competition with Li Hanyi in the past. Now that this marriage is going to provoke Li Hanyi's resentment, I don't know if it will. However, as the matter came to an end, he could only wait and see how it changed. After only 100 breaths, Xiao Haoran appeared in the Snow Moon City. You should know that the journey from Tianqi City to Shuyue City is far away, and even experts who wander in the mysterious realm need a lot of time. However, Xiao Haoran, who had comprehended the incomplete space-time magic, was able to cross this distant distance in a short period of time. Snow Moon City, as one of the 4 major martial arts holy sites in Beili country, enjoys a great reputation. Here, experts gather, with legendary figures such as Wine Immortal, Sword Immortal, and Spear Immortal sitting at the helm. The reputation of the 3 city lords, by Li Dongjun, the Wine Immortal of the great city, Li Hanyi, the Snow Moon Sword Immortal of the 2nd city, and Xikong Changfeng, the Gun Immortal of the 3rd city, is even more impressive and admirable. Li Hanyi not only possesses a breathtaking beauty, but also, with outstanding swordsmanship talent, has become the youngest sword immortal in the martial arts world and is renowned far and wide. At the moment Xiao Haoran stepped into the Snow Moon City, he unreservedly released the powerful cultivation aura of wandering in the mysterious realm, like an invisible storm that instantly swept across the entire city, shocking everyone. Immediately afterwards, he raised his head and challenged Li Hanyi. "Li Hanyi, I am Xiao Haoran." His voice was as loud as a bell, piercing through the clouds and echoing in every corner of Snow Moon City. 10 days ago, I successfully broke through to the mystical realm of Xinyu Xianjing. At this moment, I sincerely invite you to come forward and meet me. I have something very important to say to you. This speech was like thunder piercing through the ears, and everyone in Snow Moon City could only feel a buzzing sound in their ears. Li Hanyi was originally practicing in seclusion when suddenly disturbed by this powerful aura and loud voice. She frowned lightly, her figure flashed, and she appeared in front of Xiao Haoran. "Xiao Haoran, why did you suddenly visit? Li Hanyi's tone was icy cold, with a hint of displeasure in her eyes. Xiao Haoran looked at her deeply, took a breath, and said in a deep voice, Li Hanyi, I have successfully stepped into the mysterious realm of wandering. I really have to congratulate you, Li Hanyi responded calmly, with no expression on her face. Xiao Haoran continued, but after I broke through, a demon appeared in my heart. And you are exactly where my demon lies. I came here today to tell you that I want to marry you. This is the imperial decree of Emperor Mingde. Would you like to observe it? As he spoke, he handed out the imperial edict in his hand and stared at Li Hanyi with a burning gaze. Upon hearing these words, Li Hanyi's face suddenly changed. She never expected that Xiao Haoran would make such a request, which was a great insult to her. However, she was also aware that Xiao Haoran's cultivation had reached the realm of mystical wandering and his strength was unfathomable. In this battle, she had no certainty of winning. I will never marry you. Li Hanyi coldly refused with a resolute attitude. Xiao Haoran did not flinch. He raised his eyebrows and said provocatively, then let's have a competition. If I win, you must marry me. You are my demon, and it's hard for me to feel at ease not to marry you. Li Hanyi's eyes flashed with a hint of determination. She tightly grasped her long sword and pointed at Xiao Haoran, since you insist so much, then I will fulfill you. Take action. Xiao Haoran smiled slightly and said confidently, please use your moves first. I want you to know that your current cultivation cannot be compared to mine. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. Li Hanyi, who can't use any moves at all. You are listening at novel full.audio. Li Hanyi snorted coldly and looked into Xiao Haoran's eyes, the cold light even stronger. At this moment, in her eyes, Xiao Haoran was like a beast with suddenly exposed fangs. Their past was limited to the exchange of swordsmanship, which was a form of respect and recognition between martial artists. However, now Xiao Haoran is using his cultivation as an excuse to have a demon in his heart and proposes to marry her, which is undoubtedly the greatest insult to her. She is already 28 years old this year, while he is just an 18-year-old boy. This age gap makes Li Hanyi even more unable to accept Xiao Haoran's proposal. She took a deep breath, tightly grasped the long sword, and the mind technique of the water-stopping sword rapidly moved within her body. The water-stopping sword technique is her most famous sword technique and also her most dependent martial arts. In an instant, a sword light was like water, instantly cutting through the sky. Li Hanyi rushed towards Xiao Haoran at an extremely fast speed, attempting to subdue him with a thunderous force. However, facing Li Hanyi's fierce attack, Xiao Haoran only smiled slightly. He gently raised his hand, and a mysterious and powerful force surged out of his body, instantly enveloping Li Hanyi. This is the time and space confinement in time and space fairy. Li Hanyi, who was confined by time and space, suddenly felt like his body was bound by an invisible shackle, unable to move. She struggled hard, only to find that her true element was completely suppressed by this mysterious force, and she was unable to use any moves at all. A feeling of helplessness and despair instantly enveloped her heart, almost driving her crazy. Me, how could I be like this? You must be playing tricks. Li Hanyi widened her eyes and roared angrily. She looked into Xiao Haoran's eyes, full of anger and unwillingness. She wished to devour Xiao Haoran alive. Only in this way can she relieve the hatred in her heart. She had encountered this situation for the first time in her life, which was beyond her understanding. Even the great city lord, who has been wandering in the mystical realm for cultivation, cannot make it impossible for her to use any moves. Xiao Haoran looked at her calmly and said calmly, Li Hanyi, I think your heart must be full of doubts now, right? Yes, you probably didn't poison me, did you? Li Hanyi's voice was almost trembling, and she couldn't accept how embarrassed she was in front of Xiao Haoran. Xiao Haoran shook his head and said, "I didn't poison you. You were just imprisoned in your physical body by me using the time and space fairy technique. I will lift the imprisonment on you now." As soon as Li Hanyi finished speaking, he felt the restraining force that bound his body suddenly disappear. She finally regained her freedom. However, her inner anger did not subside as a result. She quickly practiced her martial arts to check if her body was poisoned. After confirming that her body was not poisoned, she suddenly lifted her head and glared angrily at Xiao Haoran. Xiao Haoran said calmly, "Li Hanyi, I didn't come to see you today to kill you. I wanted to take you back to Tianqi City. Then, I will marry you." Dreaming. I would rather die than surrender. Li Hanyi's breath exploded. What kind of person is this? Xiao Haoran said calmly, "If you don't agree, then continue to use your mysterious water-stopping sword technique." Okay. Li Hanyi's eyes flickered with crazy flames, as if he was about to burn everything to ashes. She waved her long sword again and charged towards Xiao Haoran. However, the previous experience was repeated, and she suddenly realized that her physical body was once again bound by the constraints of time and space. You, come again." Li Hanyi was so angry that she almost went crazy, her body struggling in confinement. Her expression was twisted and ferocious. She felt like she was tightly held by an invisible giant hand, powerless to break free. This feeling of humiliation and powerlessness made her anger surge out like a volcanic eruption. However, Xiao Haoran only looked at her calmly with a calm expression. After a while, he said, "Li Hanyi, you should know that I have set foot in the mystical realm of wandering. Do you think that a martial artist in my level would still be confined to the struggle between sword moves? In fact, it is not the case. The true challenge of this realm lies in a profound understanding and free use of the power of many rules such as time and space." After speaking, he waved his hand lightly and released the temporal and spatial constraints that bound Li Hanyi. Li Hanyi, who had regained his freedom, felt that his body could move again. Although her physical body was able to recover, her inner anger did not subside. She stared closely at Xiao Haoran, her tone revealing an uncontrollable anger. "What exactly do you want?" Faced with Li Hanyi's questioning, Xiao Haoran smiled slightly and calmly told him, "Li Hanyi, after breaking through his cultivation to the realm of divine wandering mystical realm, a heart demon has emerged in his heart. And this heart demon is you. Perhaps it was my deep affection for you that I couldn't let go of, strong enough to become my demon. I cannot let this sentiment continue to ravage and become a stumbling block on my path to martial arts. Therefore, I am determined to marry you. Today, whether you are willing or unwilling, I will take you to the city of apocalypse. There, I will greet you with the most solemn ceremony." Dreaming. Li Hanyi was filled with grief and anger. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Li Hanyi taken to Beili Palace. You are listening at novel full.audio. She's not stupid. She knew that men in this world say they have developed a mental illness due to someone, and to put it bluntly, they crave that person's body. Her emotions instantly exploded like a lit powder keg. She really doesn't want to marry Xiao Haoran, who is at the level of fresh meat. She gritted her teeth in hatred and cursed in her heart at Xiao Haoran's shamelessness and domineering behavior. But what made her even more desperate was that she was powerless to resist. Her water-stopping sword technique appears pale and powerless in the face of the time and space confinement magic. She is like a fierce tiger locked in an iron chain, with brute force but unable to break free from its constraints. At this moment, she was like a lamb waiting to be slaughtered, completely reduced to a plaything in Xiao Haoran's hands. She is powerless to resist and can only be manipulated by others. After imprisoning her twice again, Xiao Haoran's body flashed and he arrived at her body, quickly sealing the acupoints throughout her body. Li Hanyi suddenly felt that all her strength had been lost, and she couldn't even do the most basic struggle. Immediately after, Xiao Haoran extended his arm and tightly embraced her slender waist, with a proud smile on his lips, saying, "Li Hanyi, I will take you back to Tianqi City now." "Don't. You let go." Li Hanyi's anger reached its peak in her heart. She wanted to burst into tears and struggle desperately, but all of this was suppressed by the merciless constraints of time and space. She can only be at the mercy of Xiao Haoran. Xiao Haoran chuckled and said, "Li Hanyi, you are my demon. If I don't marry you, I will go crazy." As soon as he finished speaking, he used the time and space fairy technique and rushed to Tianqi City with Li Hanyi. Li Hanyi only felt a flower in front of him, as if the world was torn apart in an instant. The scenery around her was frantically passing by at an incredible speed. She tried her best to widen her eyes, trying to capture every fleeting detail in this rapid current. However, all of this change was too rapid, far exceeding her reaction limit. The once peaceful scenes of towering mountains, lush trees, and towering cities were now passing by her at an astonishing speed, suffocating. Her eyes were completely unable to keep up with the speed of the frenzy, and could only let the world before her turn into a brilliant and blurry stream of light. At this heart-wrenching moment, Li Hanyi suddenly turned back and looked at Xiao Haoran beside him. She was surprised to find that his face remained calm and composed, as if the crazy speed around him was just fleeting and not worth mentioning. At this glance, Li Hanyi suddenly realized. She finally realized that Xiao Haoran's body movement speed had reached a level she could not reach. This speed has completely surpassed all her understanding and imagination of martial arts. Her once proud water-stopping sword technique appeared so slow and clumsy in front of this astonishing speed, like a snail crawling with difficulty. The huge contrast stirred up an inexplicable sense of fear and frustration in her heart. Just as her mind was uncertain, Xiao Haoran had already taken her through countless mountains and rivers, and arrived outside the city of Tianqi. At this moment, the shock in Li Hanyi's heart could no longer be described in any words. She could only stare blankly at the familiar and unfamiliar city ahead, muttering unconsciously, "Oh my goodness. How could this be? How did you actually do it?" She knew that Tianqi City and Shuyue City were separated by thousands of mountains and rivers, and the distance was as far as thousands of kilometers. Back in the day, she hurriedly rode a horse from Snow Moon City to Tianqi City. Even if she rode her horse and raised her whip all the way, it would take at least half a month of long time. However, at this moment, she roughly estimated that Xiao Haoran had taken her from Snow Moon City to Tianqi City in less than 100 breaths. This is simply unbelievable. She couldn't believe her eyes. Xiao Haoran smiled and said, "Li Hanyi, take a closer look. This is the Tianqi City where you used to live. Let me take you in and take a look now." After speaking, he gently picked up Li Hanyi's hand and led her through the streets and alleys of Tianqi City. Li Hanyi once lived in this city for 5 years, and she knew everything here like the back of her hand. At this moment, she was certain that Xiao Haoran had indeed taken her back to this familiar place within 100 breaths. She was shocked by this astonishing fact and fell into a state of shock. She finally came to her senses from shock, stared at Xiao Haoran, and curiously asked, "What kind of magical spell did you actually use?" Xiao Haoran met her gaze and calmly replied, "What I just used was a time and space magic bestowed by the heavenly Tao. Unfortunately, what I have mastered is only a part of it, and I have not fully understood the time and space magic yet." The time and space magic bestowed by the heavenly way. Upon hearing these words, Li Hanyi's heart once again stirred up turbulent waves. After a while, Xiao Haoran took her into the Beili Palace. Li Hanyi does not like Emperor Mingde very much, because she has always harbored resentment towards Emperor Mingde. However, at this moment, she had to follow Xiao Haoran into this place she did not want to venture into. Emperor Mingde also knew that Li Hanyi didn't like him. He just briefly said a few words about the scene and let Xiao Haoran decide the wedding date on his own. Li Hanyi's heart surged with a strong desire to escape, but the acupoints on her body were sealed by Xiao Haoran, making her unable to break free from the constraints. She could only watch helplessly as she was trapped in the magnificent cage of the Beili Palace, helpless. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. Magical Rebirth Technique. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In a calm tone, Xiao Haoran revealed his unwavering determination. Li Hanyi, in 3 days, you will become my wife. Regardless of your wishes, this marriage will be held as scheduled. In 3 days, I will marry you. 3 days later. Li Hanyi's heart trembled as if she had been struck hard by an invisible giant hammer, and her astonishment was evident in words. A strong desire to resist surged deep within her, but the cruelty of reality poured cold water on her, instantly extinguishing all her hopes. At this moment, her acupoints are sealed all over her body, just like ordinary people who don't know martial arts. What can she use to resist Xiao Haoran's determination and strength? Xiao Haoran smiled slightly and said calmly, Li Hanyi, I will take you to witness a miracle now. I want you to see the heavenly gift I received when I broke through the mysterious realm of divine wandering. Li Hanyi responded coldly, I'm not interested in this. It's okay, you'll soon become interested. Xiao Haoran spoke, disregarding Li Hanyi's opposition, and brought her to the city of Tianqi. They quickly arrived at a medical clinic in the city of Tianqi. There are more than 10 injured people with broken hands and feet in the clinic. Xiao Haoran looked at Li Hanyi and asked seriously, Li Hanyi, do you think Bai Li Dongjun has the ability to regenerate these people's limbs? Li Hanyi shook her head firmly and said, I know that Bai Li Dongjun has no such ability. Xiao Haoran said with a serious expression, however, I have this ability. The gift I have received from heaven can make these people with broken hands and feet grow new hands and feet. Do you believe me? Li Hanyi shook her head again and said, this is impossible. I have never heard of such a thing before. Xiao Haoran chuckled lightly and said, what if I do it? Will you marry me? Li Hanyi looked at him coldly and said, what if you can't do it? Will you let me go? Of course I will let you go. Xiao Haoran nodded and agreed, you can personally check their hands and feet to confirm if they are truly disabled. Li Hanyi carefully checked and confirmed that these people were indeed truly disabled. She looked at Xiao Haoran with a hint of anticipation and doubt in her eyes. She wants to know what tricks the other party is up to. Xiao Haoran stood in the center of the clinic with a solemn expression. He had the disabled people sit in front of him, then slowly extended his hands and began to perform regeneration techniques. In an instant, countless brilliant lights burst out of his hands and landed like shooting stars on the broken hands and feet of those disabled people. Under the cover of light, Li Hanyi was shocked to see that new hand and foot bones were gradually growing from those originally empty severed limbs. She could clearly see that those newly grown bones were gradually extending under the nourishment of the light, gradually forming a complete set of hand and foot bones. Subsequently, as the bones grew, countless new blood vessels also began to spread at the severed limb. Li Hanyi held her breath and her eyes widened, afraid of missing any detail. She saw that as blood vessels continued to grow, tissues such as muscles and skin quickly grew out, perfectly merging with their original body. Those disabled people looked at the changes that had happened to them, all dumbfounded, their faces filled with shock and terror. This scene was so unbelievable that Li Hanyi even pinched himself hard, wanting to confirm whether he had fallen into Xiao Haoran's illusion. However, when the excruciating pain came, she was convinced that she had not been affected by the illusion. Her face showed an incredulous expression, and her heart was filled with shock and doubt. How could this be? She murmured to herself, what the hell is going on? As the light gradually dissipated, Li Hanyi saw that those disabled people had already acquired complete beginners and new feet. Those disabled people were overjoyed and grateful, and they all knelt on the ground, kowtowing to Xiao Haoran to thank him and calling him a deity descending to earth. Oh my goodness! What the hell is going on here? Her heart was filled with shock. Xiao Haoran smiled slightly and asked, Li Hanyi, now you should believe that I have really received such a gift from heaven, right? Li Hanyi remained silent for a moment, her eyes changing with complexity. Finally, she spoke up and asked, Xiao Haoran, what kind of magic have you obtained? Xiao Haoran said, I have obtained the incomplete Holy Light Guardian art, the incomplete Time and Space Fairy art, and the incomplete Regeneration Fairy art. If the regeneration magic I have obtained is complete, I can even resurrect a dead person. Li Hanyi listened to Xiao Haoran's words, and her heart was once again deeply shaken. She didn't expect that Xiao Haoran would receive 3 types of incomplete fairy arts, let alone the incredible ability of these fairy arts. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Marrying Li Hanyi. Obtaining the heaven of co-cultivation and backfeeding. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Xiao Haoran smiled lightly, his deep eyes fixed on Li Hanyi and said, Li Hanyi, my regenerative magic has undoubtedly been revealed. At this moment, you should believe that what I just said is true, right? You said I am my demon, and only by marrying you can we resolve it. Li Hanyi furrowed her brows, her tone full of displeasure. It's ridiculous. How can we treat living people as demons? Xiao Haoran remained serious and said, I think it's probably because I have a deep emotional connection that I mistook you for a demon. If I can't spend this life with you, I'm afraid I'll really go crazy. What do you have to do with me if you go crazy? Li Hanyi turned away, unwilling to look at him. Xiao Haoran didn't take it seriously and said calmly, Li Hanyi, come with me back to the palace. After speaking, he disregarded Li Hanyi's struggles and opposition and forcibly returned to the Beili palace with her. He summoned several palace maids to take good care of Li Hanyi. 3 days have passed in the blink of an eye, and it is the big day for them to get married. With the help of the palace maids, Li Hanyi put on a bright red wedding dress. Her eyes were empty, as if she had lost her soul. Xiao Haoran, on the other hand, was in high spirits, dressed in splendid attire. Surrounded by everyone, he walked into the magnificent palace hall with Li Hanyi. The entire hall is decorated with lights and colorful decorations, full of joy. However, for Li Hanyi, all of this was like a nightmare. Emperor Mingde sat on the dragon chair, his majestic gaze circulating between the two, revealing a satisfied expression. He waved his hand to signal everyone to be quiet, and then slowly spoke up, Today, our country of northern departure has ushered in an unprecedented joyous event. My 10th Prince Xiao Haoran and Li Hanyi are happily married, which is actually a heavenly gift. I wish them 100 years of good union and a full house of descendants. Under the red veil, Li Hanyi felt a chill and despair in her heart. She felt powerless, unable to break free from the shackles of fate, and could only obediently be led forward by it. The wedding process that followed was lengthy and complex, with every detail seeming to torment and test her soul. After the wedding, Xiao Haoran carried her into the wedding room. He lifted the red cap and saw Li Hanyi's tearful face. He let out a soft sigh and said in a soft voice, Li Hanyi, I know you're feeling wronged in your heart. But I had no choice but to reach my level of cultivation, and my inner demons are hard to eliminate. And my inner demons are you. Only by marrying you can I eliminate them. Don't worry, in the future, I will treat you wholeheartedly. At this point, he had to offer the classic scumbag line in an attempt to appease Li Hanyi. But Li Hanyi wouldn't believe his lies. I offended you. Xiao Haoran said softly in the end. Upon hearing these words, Li Hanyi burst into tears. She didn't turn her head and didn't want to look at him again. In no time, the sound of the system came to Xiao Haoran's mind. Ding! By sparring with Li Hanyi, you have gained an incredible understanding and learned the Changchun technique. Half an hour later, Xiao Haoran entered a wise state. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the marriage event and adding one person to the family. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the talent of cooperative cultivation and feedback. Backfeeding. Literally, it means that when the chicks grow up, they feed their mother birds with food. And when it is combined with co-cultivation, it becomes an alternative dual cultivation constitution. Xiao Haoran exhaled a breath of turbid air, and a gleam of essence flashed in his eyes. He secretly rejoiced in his heart and said, "This talent is really good. I've earned it this time." Ding! Congratulations to the host, marrying the beautiful woman Li Hanyi. Li Hanyi's attribute panel has been activated. Xiao Haoran eagerly searched for the attribute information of Li Hanyi. Name. Li Hanyi qualification. 98 talent. Sword immortal body, descendants have a high probability of inheriting this talent. Seeing her outstanding qualifications, Xiao Haoran felt a burst of ecstasy in his heart. He knew that Li Hanyi's outstanding qualifications meant that he might receive even more generous rewards in the future. Although Li Hanyi doesn't have much emotional attachment to Xiao Haoran, he doesn't care. What he was concerned about was the water-stopping sword technique she practiced, which was personally taught to her by the master of swordsmanship, Li Changsheng. The water-stopping sword technique, cultivated to the pinnacle of perfection, can break through the void with one sword and enter the mysterious realm of divine wandering. However, it is not easy to train this unparalleled swordsmanship to perfection. Li Hanyi has been under the tutelage of Li Changsheng since the age of 16. After several years of hard cultivation, she finally became one of the sword immortals in her 20s. Her talent and cultivation speed are already breathtaking. However, even Li Hanyi, who had exceptional talent, only touched the edge of the third layer of the water-stopping sword technique after years of hard work. The next afternoon. Sunshine falls on the courtyard. Xiao Haoran began to guide Li Hanyi in practicing the water-stopping sword technique. He said in a calm tone, "Madam, the reason why you have not been able to understand the true essence of the water-stopping sword technique is because you mistakenly thought that practicing this sword technique requires a calm and heartless heart. However, the immortal is too forgetful and not truly heartless." Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Li Hanyi's cultivation breaks through to the divine mysterious realm. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Only by using emotions to control the sword can you break through the sky with one sword, wandering in the void. Xiao Haoran gazed deeply at Li Hanyi and said slowly. Upon hearing this, Li Hanyi couldn't help but sneer and retort, "It's only now that you've come to tell me these things. Do you think I'm so easy to fool?" At this moment, she was full of doubt about Xiao Haoran's words. Xiao Haoran shamelessly smiled and said, "Cold clothes, since I married you, my inner demons have dissipated." He emphasized again, "You need to remember that only by using emotions to control the sword can one sword be divine." Li Hanyi let out a soft sigh and said, "I will consider it." Xiao Haoran noticed her change and said softly, "I know you have resentment in your heart, but please believe that I will use my true feelings to dispel your coldness." What a wishful thinking. Li Hanyi still felt indignant in her heart. In the following days, Xiao Haoran will always be by Li Hanyi's side. She was constantly held down by Xiao Haoran. Their traces have been left in every corner of the imperial palace. At first, Li Hanyi felt like an imprisoned bird, losing her freedom. But as time passed, she was surprised to find that her cultivation was gradually improving. What exactly is going on? She was filled with confusion in her heart, but she did not seek answers from Xiao Haoran. Time flies by in a hurry, half a month is fleeting. On this day, Li Hanyi suddenly realized that his cultivation had already surpassed the mysterious realm of divine wandering. She was so shocked that she couldn't believe the facts before her. Why is it like this? She was filled with doubts in her heart. Xiao Haoran watched her breakthrough in cultivation with immense joy in his heart. He was well aware that the reason why Li Hanyi's cultivation was able to break through to the mystical realm was all his credit. In the past decade or so, he has worked hard on her. His cultivation and nurturing talent nurtured her body, allowing her to finally break through the last layer of confinement. Congratulations to the imperial concubine for her great progress in cultivation and entering the mysterious realm of divine wandering. Xiao Haoran congratulated sincerely. Li Hanyi regained consciousness and asked in confusion, "Do you know why my cultivation suddenly broke through?" Xiao Haoran smiled slightly and explained, "Madam, everything we have experienced together these days has caused a huge change in your mood. I believe that deep down in your heart, you have slowly accepted me. Therefore, your cultivation has been able to make rapid progress." "No. This is impossible." She suddenly lifted her head and firmly denied it. She had thought that her cultivation would forever stop at the half-step divine realm and could not go any further. In her opinion, these days were more like a dark nightmare. Her cultivation is imprisoned, she is completely abused. All of this made it difficult for her to let go. However, to her surprise, she stepped into the mysterious realm of divine wandering in one fell swoop. This sudden change was undoubtedly a huge cognitive shock for her, leaving her stunned and incredulous. Looking back on the past decade or so, her cultivation has been imprisoned by Xiao Haoran and she is unable to freely unleash it. It was not until a few days ago that Xiao Haoran lifted his ban on her, allowing her cultivation to be restored. However, even though her cultivation was restored, she still appeared so powerless in front of Xiao Haoran, completely suppressed by him. In the midst of this sudden surprise and confusion, she suddenly thought of a question and asked Xiao Haoran in confusion, "My cultivation has already entered the mysterious realm of divine wandering, why hasn't it triggered the heavenly gift?" Xiao Haoran looked at her and answered seriously, "Your question is very good. In fact, due to my cultivation talent far exceeding yours, I triggered the heavenly way gift, but you did not trigger any heavenly way gift. I will never believe you." Li Hanyi firmly rejected Xiao Haoran's explanation. Her gaze revealed a deep suspicion of Xiao Haoran's words. Xiao Haoran stared at her with a firm voice. "Li Hanyi, my cultivation talent is indeed far beyond yours, and this is an unchangeable fact. I hope you can accept this truth." However, Li Hanyi remained unmoved. She gritted her teeth and responded firmly, "No, I will never believe your nonsense." As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Haoran mercilessly launched a fierce attack on her, as if to prove his strength and extraordinary talent. In this sudden confrontation, Li Hanyi was forced to bear Xiao Haoran's storm-like attack, and her heart was full of amazement and reluctance. At this moment, it is in the Beili Palace. Emperor Mingde sat upright in the imperial library, his expression gloomy as water. There was a pile of memorials in front of him, but his mind was not focused on those memorials at the moment. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. I hope to take advantage of my youth and strength too. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this moment, he felt as if he had been struck by a thunderbolt, and his whole body was numb. Originally, his subordinates told him that Xiao Haoran and Li Hanyi had been entangled in the prince's mansion for a full half-month. What kind of system is this? Emperor Mingde felt an inexplicable anger surge in his heart, sighing inwardly that the world is deteriorating and people's hearts are not ancient. After pondering for a long time, he decided to personally summon Xiao Haoran to investigate the situation. After all, Xiao Haoran is his beloved son who has shown unparalleled cultivation talent since childhood. He has dispatched numerous experts to personally protect this gifted child and ensure their safety without worries. Now, Xiao Haoran has indeed lived up to expectations. At the age of only 18, his cultivation has already surpassed the realm of divine wandering in mystical realm, which is breathtaking. Previously, Xiao Haoran begged him to marry Li Hanyi, and he readily agreed. However, at this moment, he was worried and afraid that Xiao Haoran would be trapped in love and go astray. If that were the case, Xiao Haoran's life would probably be destroyed in an instant. Therefore, he made up his mind to remind Xiao Haoran to stop riding on the cliff and not to indulge in love between children. When Xiao Haoran stepped into the main hall, Emperor Mingde pretended to be calm and casually asked about his married life. Xiao Haoran replied with a spring breeze, "Father, Li Hanyi and I have a great love for each other. I believe she will give birth to a son for me soon. During this time, we have been busy preparing to welcome the arrival of a new life." Emperor Mingde frowned and tentatively asked, "Child, do you plan to spend the rest of your life with her only?" Xiao Haoran shook his head without hesitation and said, "Father, I do really like Li Hanyi, but as the prince, I still bear the heavy responsibility of reproducing the descendants of the imperial family. Please rest assured, Father, that I will look for more virtuous women to jointly conceive offspring." Emperor Mingde immediately took a breath of cold air. He originally thought that Xiao Haoran was confused by Li Hanyi, but now it seems that things are not like that. I understand now that he has always been a young man, full of vitality. Helpless, Emperor Mingde sighed lightly and advised, "Since that's the case, you must take care of your health." Xiao Haoran responded solemnly, "Father's teachings will be remembered by my courtiers. Please rest assured, Father. I will take care of my health. Moreover, if conditions permit, I plan to marry more imperial concubines and reproduce together. I hope to take advantage of my youth and strength to spread more branches and leaves for the royal family." Emperor Mingde couldn't help but ask curiously, "How many imperial concubines do you plan to marry?" Xiao Haoran shamelessly smiled and said, "At least a few dozen, it's not impossible to have hundreds." Emperor Mingde suddenly felt speechless. He tried to calm himself down and continued asking, "Child, then you must take care of your health. Which other girl are you interested in?" Xiao Haoran smiled faintly and said, "I don't have any specific plans at the moment. I plan to wait until Li Hanyi becomes pregnant with my child before considering these matters." Upon hearing Xiao Haoran's answer, Emperor Mingde felt a little relieved in his heart. At least his son was not completely confused by Li Hanyi. However, although he could understand Xiao Haoran's desire to marry more imperial concubines, he couldn't help but feel worried. Emperor Mingde said to Xiao Haoran in a low voice, "My child, as a member of the royal family, marriage matters not only concern you personally, but also affect the dignity and interests of the entire royal family. When choosing a future imperial consort, you must be cautious and value their character and background, and never make hasty decisions." After hearing this, Xiao Haoran nodded in agreement and responded with a respectful expression, "I will always remember your father's instructions. As the prince, I am well aware of the heavy responsibility I bear and will always prioritize the interests of the royal family. Please rest assured that my father and emperor will be very careful when it comes to marrying the imperial concubine, and I will never disappoint you." Watching Xiao Haoran make such a statement, Emperor Mingde's eyes showed a satisfied expression. He said to Xiao Haoran in a gentle tone, "I am very pleased that you have such enlightenment. Since you have considered everything carefully, I will not repeat it. There is only one thing that you must always remember. No matter where you are, cherish your body. This is not only your promise to the royal family and me, but also your greatest responsibility to yourself." "I will remember my father's teachings and be grateful for his care," Xiao Haoran said and respectfully bowed to Emperor Mingde before leaving. After leaving the palace, Xiao Haoran returned to his mansion. Recalling today's conversation with his father, he secretly felt grateful that everything was going smoothly. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.